House Democratic leader. And we are also members of the Sixth Reproductive Freedom Leadership Council, which is a network of state legislators committed to improving reproductive health and justice and lots of other good things. But in Idaho, we are on the front lines of the horror that was unleashed upon women and medical professionals when Roe was overturned. Idaho has the most extreme ban in America, with no health exception whatsoever. The only exception is if the patient faces certain death. Likely death? No exception. Possible death, organ loss? No exception. Paralysis, permanent infertility? No exception. Non-viable fetus with no skull or brain? No exception. None of that is enough to permit an abortion, and any doctor who acts to save a woman in such an emergency faces 5 years in prison. This is not okay. The results have already been disastrous. Women in health crises are being airlifted out of state. 6 from one hospital alone just in the last couple months. People who are pregnant are being told they must get life flight insurance to flee Idaho if they have complications. This is not okay. Idaho law forces doctors to choose. Commit medical malpractice by waiting until a woman is almost dead when she could be saved, or go to prison by treating her. And unsurprisingly, these doctors are choosing option C, leave the state. We have lost over half of our high-risk maternity specialists. We've lost a quarter of our OBGYNs. 3 labor and delivery departments have shut down, and in Idaho, that's a lot. We don't have a lot to begin with. There are parts of the state where you have to travel 170 miles now just to get to an OBGYN. Not an abortion, just an OBGYN. We are in a 5-alarm crisis in Idaho, and our majority party leadership is in this building right now, and they are only interested in making the problem worse by fighting the protections we had under EMTALA. The status quo in which pregnant women are denied the emergency stabilizing care that is guaranteed to every other American is not acceptable, and we do not believe it's constitutional.
Since Idaho's abortion ban went into effect, people needing care have been thrown into chaos. I've heard from doctors, nurses, women, men at every stage of life whose options and rights were abruptly cut short by that legislature, my own legislature. Young people are afraid to start families in Idaho because it's not safe to be pregnant in our state. Of course, the impacts have felt hardest on people of color, people who can't afford to travel, and people suffering from an emergency who lack the luxury of time to travel out of state for care. Under EMTALA, federal law offered a lifeline, an assurance of at least emergency abortion care. But extremists in our state have fought hard to cut off the lifeline and take even the sliver of protection away. We want to make one thing clear, that while this case is named Idaho versus the United States, the people of Idaho do not support the state's position. The majority of Idahoans support access to abortion care, but the majority party of Idaho has left us behind time and again. And the impact of this case will extend far beyond Idaho. If EMTALA is not found to protect emergency abortion care, and the safety of pregnant folks is in danger across our country, we want women in America to know, and the healthcare providers of Idaho to know, that we will fight for your rights and your safety. We'll do it in Boise, and we'll do it here on the steps of the Supreme Court.